Want to know why I chose SGU as my medical school? Stay tuned to find out. Hi everyone, and welcome to my journey into becoming Dr. Nanette Varela. My name is Nanette, and welcome to my YouTube channel. So I know I've been away for a little bit. It's been crazy. This term has been full of amazing things happening. School is crazy. So I am back, and I'm here to talk about on why I chose SGU as my medical school. I graduated from Florida International University July of 2019, and I decided to take a couple months off to study for the MCAT. So I took about 6 months, and my original plan was to take the MCAT in May of 2020. But guess what happened in May of 2020? COVID happened. So my exam got canceled, and I couldn't reschedule it until September. I actually rescheduled it until around July, and then since things were still happening and it was like such an uncontrollable situation, nobody knew what we can do, so they kept canceling my exams and my exam. And imagine, I had studied for about 6 months by the time I got to May, and I was ready to take this test. I was getting good scores, everything was ready for me to go. Having them cancel my test was like a stab to my heart. Like, imagine you've put so much hard work and dedication to something, and then it's not gonna happen, and it just doesn't happen. Like, oh my God, I can't even explain to you. But it doesn't matter. So I kept studying and studying, but it wasn't as intense as it could have been. And once I got to take the test in September, I had already sent my application to AAMC, and I had applied to other schools as well because I had pretty much everything. My application was tip-top application. I had a 3.8 GPA, I had community service hours, I had shadowing, I had shadowed about 3 doctors, I did a dermatologist, a family practice, and as well as a podiatric doctor. And I had done a mission trip to Dominican Republic. I had a membership as a Golden Key Club. I was in the National Honor Society for Leadership and Success, and I had done a lot of outreach community outwork, and I had my own business as well. So leadership wise, in the medical fields and non-medical, I had to me an outstanding application. But the only red flag was my MCAT, and that definitely was a big red flag, especially since I had to send my application a little bit later because I didn't want to wait almost 2 years to start medical school. So I sent my application, I waited to take the MCAT at late September, and I sent the application. Once my score came, I just literally prayed to God that COVID would help a lot, because I would have imagined that being in a situation, schools could be more considerate, but I still didn't want to risk it. I didn't want to wait 2 years of having two gap years, and I definitely didn't want to do that. I wanted to start school already. I had already been out of school for 6 months, and I just didn't want to do an extra 2 gap years. So I looked into my options into applying in the Caribbean. I've always heard good and bad things about applying in the Caribbean. Of course, everyone has their own opinions. I knew the top schools in the Caribbean were St. George's University, Ross University. I had heard about AUA and a couple other schools, but I did do a lot of research. If I was going to go into the Caribbean school, I wanted to choose something that was going to give me the major opportunities that I can later on. I had other SGU students previously and had spoken with them. I had spoken with students from AUA. I had spoken with students from Ross University, and everyone had great experiences, but I felt that SGU students had the most opportunities, had the most preparedness for STEP exams and residency applications. At the end of the day, you have to find what works for you and what you feel comfortable with. I did apply to other US schools, and I did get a lot of secondary applications, and I completed them, but at the end of the day, I didn't really like feel comfortable with everything that was going on, and SGU gave me the opportunity to start, and I just went with it, and I didn't care what other people said. I know that being an IMG has its pros and its cons, and I feel like I can be part of that pro. I will change the cons and show everyone that being an IMG is not a burden. At the end of the day, people say that this is the easy route, and I definitely don't think this is an easy route. This is a very hard route for moving away from your family, going to another country that you're not familiar with, learning new material that you've never seen in your life. Honestly, this is not an easy route, and those who have never experienced will always have their opinions. But my suggestion is, if you are interested in a Caribbean school, do your research. Everyone has different aspects that they want to meet as their goals in medical school. Make sure you do your research, look at the pros and cons, look at financial stability. Okay, SGU is one of the expensive schools, but again, if you want to go less expensive, you got to take a look at the curriculum and the type of teaching that they provide. Another thing that sold me was the curriculum that St. George's University has. Their curriculum is an organ-based systems. So it's not like we're going to take a look at the physio and the biochem and everything like in a big picture. It's more organ systems. So we're going to look at the renal system, respiratory system, cardiology system. And I found that super amazing. I thought that that's going to be such a helpful system and curriculum for students as well. Of course, financial stability was an importance. So I looked into other scholarships, and when I applied, they offered me 2 scholarships. So that was another important aspect for me to take a look at. Once I applied to St. George's University, I relatively didn't even want to apply to Ross. I just sent my application, but I really didn't complete it because by the time I had already been accepted to St. George's University, and I just found that St. George's University had way much more opportunities. Again, don't forget that your choice is your choice at the end of the day. Make sure you choose something that you're going to be happy with, because you're going to be there for 4 years and you don't want to be like annoyed. You don't want to be irritated. You want to be in a place that's going to make sure you feel comfortable. You can always check on SGU's website if you have any other extra information. You can always reach out to me. If this video was helpful for you, don't forget to like my video, comment down below if these tips were helpful. I'll see you guys next week, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time.